Hey guys, TizzouSC here, back from LA, casting StarCraft 2 games already. I'm going to start trying to cast games in 1080p, up the quality just a hair. So we're going to be bringing out the new style in great style because we're going to be bringing you a Zerg vs. Terran on Metaloplois and spawning in the 9 o'clock position, none other than EGIdra. EGIdra, a player from Brood War, transferred to StarCraft 2 during the beta, known for his macro style, absolute powerhouse. His name speaks for himself. If you don't know who EGIdra is, just type it into Google and Google will fill you in on all the worldly knowledge you could possibly want to know. Jumping to our Terran player's base, it's going to be spawning at the 6 o'clock position. Our Terran player, his name is in Korean. Google Translator gave me something, but I didn't want to just blindly claim his name to be whatever Google Translator felt like it should be. So I am going to tell you just a tiny bit about him. This is, just a tiny little factoid. He is ranked in the top 10 of the Korean ladder. I lie, that is a huge fact. Korean ladder comprised of quite a few Korean pros. To be ranked in the top 10 of that, you are an absolute powerhouse player. We'll see if this player actually decides to enter into any big tournaments, but being ranked in the top 10 ladder is quite a task in itself. EGIdra Scout just getting there, and he just turns it up just a hair. He doesn't want to give the Terran player knowledge of where he is just yet, but he's actually very boldly sending in. It looks like he wants to just make sure of no kind of craziness coming out of this Terran player. He wants to get here and be knowing what's going on. Our Terran player is up to 100 gas, but he's not getting his, up to 100 minerals, but he's not starting his gas yet. Very interesting so far. Back to our Zerg player, and look at this. EGIdra, who's always been known to be such a macro-oriented player, playing a much safer style of Zerg right now. Going gas followed by pool. So he's probably going to be getting that quick speedling, upgrade to allow to prevent harassment. Maybe he is worried about some kind of harassment, but surprising as EGIdra is normally known as such a macro player going for those quick expansions. Our Terran player is up to 300 minerals right now, just getting his orbital command, but still not building anything with these minerals, not finishing off his wall. Be interesting to see where he goes with this. He might be going for some kind of very quick expansion, hasn't started his gas yet, and already up to 300 minerals. Jumping back to our Zerg player's base, gas is finally being produced. He's up to almost 300 minerals. We'll see if he just gets Queen and Speedling. Here we go. Nope, not starting a Queen, getting a hatch right now. He probably start a Queen next. Jumping. Oh, here we go. Yes, our Terran player saw that giant blue box. Terran player's going for an extremely fast expansion. See if that Overlord. Just take a quick look at the EGIdra camp. Don't want to see exactly what he's doing, but he does not know about that expansion yet. So he's going to get a little surprised when he finds out that there's not a large force of units and that he shouldn't be spending all this time on defenses. As he is finally getting Ling Speed started, he got 100 gas and then he stopped mining gas. He wants to allow for some more minerals to allow him to get his both bases up and running. You don't need a whole lot of gas to build drones or Zerglings. So he is in turn just stopping gas production. Overlord sitting in the middle, jumping back to our Terran player. And look at this, double gas and going to go right into some gas heavy play. See if we're going to see air, see if we're going to see siege tanks. Whatever it is, it's going to be very gas heavy. And this expansion almost done, still producing nothing but Marines, seeing as how he has no gas at all. Adding on another barracks, 2 barracks play. We'll see where he goes. I'd be surprised if it isn't going to be gas heavy given the double gas going on at the exact same time. EGIdra doing a little bit of drone transfer right as this hatchery is getting done. Perfect timing. Got a Queen, another Queen on the way. Finally mining gas again. We'll see where EGIdra takes this build. Jumping back to our Terran player's base. Still just putting up his orbital command. Nothing too exciting coming out of our Terran player yet. 100 gas, throwing down that factory right away. We'll see where he takes this from here. Jumping back to our Zerg player's base. We have Spine Crawlers going down. Just getting his drones on. Producing pretty much nothing but drones and defenses. Upgrading his lair. Very quick lair. Not opting to go for any kind of roach play, going straight up, maybe seeing some kind of quick mutas, maybe seeing some kind of hydras. I actually now don't want to say mutas just because he's only operating off of 1, now starting his 2nd gas. If he's going mutas, I imagine he would be going gas much quicker, but I could again be wrong. And our Terran player is interestingly walling off with supply depots, moving his barracks to add an add-on onto that, does not want to leave any barracks without an add-on. Getting that factory going, and we'll see where he takes this. He's already up to 200 gas, still producing SCVs, has yet to decide to lift that expansion and take off and take his expansion. And now EGIdra is operating off of 3 gases, so I wouldn't be surprised now if we saw some kind of muta play come out of EGIdra. But at the same time, I could not say for sure, still producing tons of drones. Bring up this income tab. Actually, both players about even at 32, 33. EGIdra just a couple drones ahead, 3 drones ahead. But because of our Terran player producing off of 2 command centers, he's been able to keep up with EGIdra, and EGIdra's been using most of his larvae to produce mostly drones, as you'll see. Only about 6 Zerglings on the field and 2 Queens, so he is definitely going drone, drone, drone. Our Terran player is now going to go bring up the production tab. Siege tank, stim pack on the way, building that starport, and getting ready to take his expansion by throwing up that bunker to get that little bit of extra defense he needs to hold it away from that Zerg player, EGIdra, and throwing up a supply depot in the back. He doesn't want any kind of nidus or any kind of drop to go on without him being aware behind that little smoke screen. Just now moving out, getting his expansion. Our Terran player is going to be getting a very nice economic lead as soon as he gets this expansion, due to the mules and due to the fact that a Terran player on 2 bases is much more dangerous than a Zerg player on 2 bases. You can definitely almost get a max 200 army running off of 2 bases as a Terran player without too much trouble. Scan going down, knows about the expansion, and EGIdra, look at that. He is just macroing up a storm. 1,300 minerals to 400 gas, 47 harvesters to 38. Our Terran players finally now establishing his expansion, throwing down those mules. I'll be surprised if he doesn't quickly catch up with that mineral count due to these mules muling. That's what I'm going to call what their actions are. Dropships being added on, still producing a bio-heavy army, and here we go, moving out. Marines and siege tanks, nothing but Marines. Not a single Marauder in the mix. I guess he is not worried about any kind of roach play by EGIdra. Taking a look at EGIdra, but look at the creep spread already all over the field. Throwing down an Evo chamber, and ooh, here we go. This is going to be interesting. He's getting 3 infestors. Fungal growth goes down right on the massive Marines and siege tanks. Fungal growth is horrible, horrible against Marines. Look at the way the Marines just exploded. The Lings come in to clean up that siege tank. That was completely stopped by nearly just 1 infestor. 1 infestor pretty much shut that entire push down. EGIdra has the upgrade for infestor energy increase. What this means is that as soon as the EGIdra comes out of the cocoon, he is able to produce a fungal growth. That is a very crucial upgrade for that reason. It's not just an upgrade that gives you the ability when you're maxed energy to get more fungal growths out of 1. It gives you the ability to fungal growth as soon as it comes out of the cocoon. Very huge thing. Ling's moving out across the field. Looks like he's just going to kind of get in position. You might decide to poke in, but taking a look at our Terran player's base, actually surprisingly not a ton of defense, mostly just 1 Hellion siege tank and a couple Marines in a bunker. And already look at that, getting ready for his 3rd expansion. EGIdra's 3rd expansion is just now complete. His Lings are going to back on up. He's not going to play around with that. At the exact same time, drop going in, and look at another fungal growth goes down. He has got 5 infestors, and these fungal growths are just hitting the field everywhere. Forced to pick up, and fungal growthing the dropship. He's got to drop the Marines 1 at a time. The Lings just eating it alive. He can't get the dropship out. He's going to lose the dropship and the Marines. Oh man, so this must be what part of EGIdra's new strategy is, a very infestor-heavy army while building his macro and using the infestors to shut down all kinds of harassment from the Terran player. Look at this, just going nothing but Lings and infestors and getting quick double upgrades. He's getting armor and he is getting +1 attack. He may be transitioning to Ultralisk. He's already got the Hive. Ultralisk Cavern on the way. This is quite an interesting strategy. Forsaking Mutas, forsaking Hydras, forsaking Roaches. Lings and Infestors is all I need to get me through to Ultralisk. Already operating off of 3 bases. EGIdra is looking in a dominant position. Income tab up. 1,800 to 1,500. 67 to 60 harvesters, 7 harvester advantage. Terran player just now going for his 3rd expansion. Both players completely saturated, and our Terran player is going for Banshees. Is he getting cloaked? No, he is not, but he is producing off of 3 factories. Looks like he is getting Banshees, Marauders, and nothing out of these 3 factories. Oh, it's because he is supply blocked. Currently supply blocked and going mass Hellion right now to deal with all these Zerglings from EGIdra. But once those Ultralisks on the field, I don't think it's going to matter. EGIdra is going to roll over Hellions with Ultralisks in a mean, dirty way. Taking a look at our army tab, look at that. Zerg player 133, Terran player 105, almost a 30 supply advantage. This is absolutely huge, even though there's mostly a Ling army with mostly drones and Lings and a couple infestors. 66 to 30, or excuse me, 66 to 63, close on the harvesters. Terran player just ahead on the income production because of the fact of those mules. Taking a look at both players' bases, bring up this production tab. Look at this, both players producing up a storm. Raven on the way, Hellion on the way, Chitinous Plate on the way, and still working on his +1/+1 upgrades for his land melee units. EGIdra is going to be in quite the position with these upgrades and Ultras on the field so early. and our Terran player is concentrating mainly on a mech army with a bio ball of, a bio ball. Blah, blah, blah. Confusing my words. These bio balls are protecting this this mech army. I'm having an issue saying this one thought. What I'm trying to say is these Marines do a ton of DPS but do not tank well. They are added support for that mech army, and Hellions going across the field. Generally, if you have just a mech army, you want to have something to fill out that army and keep it. And look at this, EGIdra already moving, and Blue Flame just... And Infestors, again, Infestors are shutting down every kind of harassment that our Terran players trying to do with complete ease. 6 Hellions with Blue Flame, and they get nothing but about 6 drones, and that is not going to be quite the dagger our Terran player needs right now. 70 workers to 69. Zerg player now operating off of 4 bases. EGIdra is taking over the map, and he is holding it using nothing but Infestors and Zerglings. This is absolutely incredible play, and he is finally going to get this +2/+2 now. His Ultralists are going to come out mean and nasty. Bring up this army, I want to bring up the units tab. He's got 7 Ultralists. He's got these Ultralists. Where in the world are you hiding these Ultralists? Here they are with the army, not hidden a bit. Is he about to push out? Ling's going across the field. Right now, our Terran player has Hellions sitting up by the watchtower, getting a little bit of field division, and Infestors coming in again, but these Infestors are going to scare these Hellions away. Those Hellions have gotten green gooped and heard stories of their brethren being burned down by a green goop and decide that it's not what they want to do. Orbital, no, this is going to be a planetary fortress going down. Our Terran player is finally going to get onto 4 bases, going right for the gusto, going for the gold. Our Zerg player, EGIdra, man, EGIdra is taking over this map, now starting up production on his 5th base. It's a very quiet match so far. Neither player making a huge bit of advancement to either player, mainly because the Terran player has attempted and been shut down continuously. And look at this, all these Infestors, 6 Infestors, throwing down a couple infested Terrans, and just keep, look at this, that Banshee can do nothing. Fungal Growth, 2 infested Terrans, gonna take that Banshee right on down. That is, man, these Infestors are just shutting down everything this Terran player is trying to do. The Terran player is going to need to go for a ball of a ball of mean units and push into Zerg player because this harassment is being